What an exciting Masters it was. And I was able to be there Monday practice round and Sunday championship round. Oh my goodness. Two ultra incredible experiences. I've never been there before. So to be able to experience twice in 1 week, when it was the Tiger Woods return week, I, I couldn't ask for anything more. And I want to talk about 5 reasons why I believe Tiger Woods will be back at the PGA Championship and obviously the British, and I believe he'll play I believe he'll play all the majors. We'll see, but I believe because of what we saw, he will make it. And I was able to get up close and personal, front row, front and center for Tiger Woods on Sunday on the 14th hole, par 4, Augusta National. We were over there, a couple groups ahead of him, and everybody was hitting it down the right-hand side, and Tiger did as well. So did Jon Rahm, which was interesting because Jon Rahm hits it down the right side, right near the ropes. Nobody moves. Everybody's whatever. And then Tiger hits it past him a little farther right, and everybody moved. And it was so funny. You would think Tiger Woods was playing by himself because we all scurried up, and I was right up against the rope, right behind him. If you go to the online Masters app on the 14th hole, his second shot, after he hits it and hits a tree and ricochets back into the fairway, as he was walking, you kind of see me right up against the rope, right behind Tiger. But if you blink or half a blink, you're not going to see me. I'm all good. And anyways, here's what I noticed about Tiger. He was definitely hobbling big time as he was walking over. He was grabbing his leg. He was in some serious pain. And a lot of people are going to say that, man, he might not make it to Southern Hills for the PGA. But because of what I saw, I believe he will. And here are like my things. One is he was in massive pain. Yes, he was. However, I feel like this pain is kind of equivalent to, let's say you haven't worked out in the gym for a year, and then you go to the gym and you work out like an entire body workout day one, right? You're going to be hurting. You're going to be sore after 2-3 days. Maybe the second day you're not that bad, but the third day your body's just like, whoa, and it's hurt and you're just tight and sore. Now, it's not like debilitating stuff, but what happens is he pushes his body doing something he hasn't done in over a year. And a lot of his muscles, yeah, they atrophied and they get weak, and you're just not used to walking, and then you show up at Augusta and you go through that whole thing. So your body's going to be incredibly sore. And that, I believe that's what he was really feeling, like, oh, you're limping. I'll go jog. If I go jogging today, in 2 days, I'll be limping around the house because I haven't jogged in a long time. That's what I think his body was going through. And his leg that has had pins and surgery on it, that's going to really feel bad. But I believe it's a good bad, meaning his body is going to recover from this and be even stronger than it was going into it. So I think it was a great way to push yourself. When I snapped my ACL a number of years ago and I went to rehab, there was a day where we had to really push it to the point where I thought I snapped it again. That's how much we had to dig into that scar tissue and break it up. And I think like this was kind of the equivalent. You really got to push yourself beyond what you've ever experienced. And then your body's like, oh, we need to get that much better. And so I think this is so good for his body. And I think in a week or two, he's really going to feel great and feeling strong. And I think in a month's time or whatever, when the PGA comes, I think he's going to say, look, I think I could do this and recover and also be able to make the British. And he talked about the British. He was going to be there. But I'm hopeful he goes to the PGA and the US Open and the British. But I think his recovery time is probably going to be, he's going to recover quick and fast faster than I think he even anticipates. And I think that's the number one takeaway from that. Number two, I think, is good to know it's not his back. His back isn't what's giving him the issue. Yeah, he's he's had multiple back surgeries, but he wasn't really like, oh, my back, and fighting that. He was able to manage that, and I think it was just his body and his leg that was giving him the biggest problem. So that's good. It's not his back. What else is great? I think his putting is as good as ever. Now, he had some putting issues on the weekend. I get that. But he hasn't competed in over a year. So you're going to just lose your mental focus a little bit here and there. And he hasn't putted in competition. So from nothing to the Masters, you're going to miss some short putts. So I don't take anything away from that. His putting stroke looked good. And from what I recall from seeing Tiger in his heyday, the sound the ball makes off his putter is another sound to behold. It is something different than I've ever heard. And it's a subtle thing, and I always try to just listen intently to how is your ball striking, and especially what does it sound like off the putter? Because I strive for that sound, and it's this purity of hitting that sweet spot over and over and over, and you can hear it from nearly 50 feet away. You hit a little, and you're like, man, he hit a good solid putt. And that's what's key. If you're towing it or heeling it or mishitting it, that's frustrating, and that's hard to deal with. But when you pure it so often like he does, you can be fine. So putting's key. The next thing is he really flushes his iron shot. Like, his iron game is there. He's not lacking anything. He pures his irons. Again, it's a sound quality, a strike quality, and he's hitting it for the most part where he's looking, and he's able to work and shape the ball. So for that, I think he's gonna be there sooner than we think. And he still hits the ball far. I saw him Sunday with Jon Rahm, and he outdrove Jon Rahm. He did it on 14. So although it went right, it went farther than his and a little right. So he is hitting the ball far. He's not a short knocker, is what I'm saying. So that's good. He still has a swing speed. All is good there. And although he did lose his focus here and there, he still had great focus for the majority of the round. So with all of that being said, I think the biggest takeaway I got from seeing Tiger Woods up close and personal was the fact that he can hit the ball. He can manage his way around the golf course. He's got that mental drive that I am going to be out there. I am going to play. He did say he wasn't going to play a full schedule anymore. You're not going to see him like you used to, but he hasn't played a full schedule for many, many years, and it's going to be even scaled back more than that. But I would imagine we're going to see him probably at least four. Those are the big events. He would probably play the PGA, the Players Championship. Maybe. It's a little close to Augusta, but he might do that if his body can recover that quickly. And I think we would see him maybe in a couple World Golf Championships. So anywhere from, let's say, 5 to 8 events a year, I would think we would see Tiger. But it might be 6. I'd be fine with that. In any case, I'll tell you what, it was phenomenal to see Tiger Woods out there at Augusta National, Championship Sunday. Keep in mind, the dude hasn't played golf competitively for over a year. He had major leg surgery. He almost lost his leg, and he still beat a number of players who didn't even make the cut. Everybody who didn't make the cut, he beat all of them. Go find out who these guys are. A lot of these guys play every week. Perfectly healthy, young. Why is Tiger Woods able to do that and they aren't? You know what? It just goes to show he is a different level, different caliber of player. And I, for one, think he is going to play all 4 major championships this year, 2022.